Hello everybody, Douglas here, and welcome to another episode of Donuts is the Movie Reviews. As Halloween gets closer, it's time to move on to the second film in the Halloweentown franchise. Released to Disney Channel on October 12th, 2001, the movie is Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge. Set 2 years out of the first film, the film starts with a narration from Marnie.
My mom, Gwen, my grandma, Aggie, my sister, Sophie, and my brother, Dylan, and I all had to join together and use the power of the Cromwell witch family to defeat Kalabar, an evil warlock who's had a thing for my mother since they were teenagers. Halloweentown was always a happy place where creatures of different sizes and shapes and species, some of them downright weird, could live apart from the real world in peace and harmony. So, after we saved Halloweentown, Grandma decided to leave her comfy house there and live with our family in the mortal world. Now, it's Halloween night again, the only night we could pass freely between Halloweentown and our world. I'm thinking about Halloweentown. I wonder how it's changed. Grandma says things in Halloweentown are always changing. I know nothing has changed at our house.
At the Piper's house, the family's throwing a Halloween party. Marnie, played again by Kimberly J. Brown, comes down from her room, and Aggie, played again by the late Debbie Reynolds, asks her to give the partygoers a tour of the house.
Grandma, I don't think this is a very good idea.
What? Oh, fiddle. I can't let your mother spoil my fun every day of the year.
Gwen, played again by Judith Hogue, then comes over.
I spend all of my time trying to keep you from turning my own daughters against me. Now you're going to corrupt all the children in the neighborhood.
Mom, we're not turning against you.
My dear, if you want to reject your heritage, that's your business. But someone has to take my place as head of the Cromwell line. And I know Marnie is just the stuff.
Or me. I'd be good too.
This one?
All right, dress up's over.
We've got bobbing
For apples, right over there. Oh, yes, it's fun. It's fun. Go.
Well, I hope you're happy.
Oh, ecstatic.
Aggie then goes up to her room. Sophie, played again by Emily Rowesk, follows her. Aggie watches Gort from Halloweentown, played by Blue Mankuma, through her crystal ball and explains to Sophie that everything lost in either world ends up at his house.
That other sock, the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle, the earring you put down for just a second, they all end up in Gort's front yard. Not that he's willing to part with any of it.
Sophie then suggests to Aggie that she should visit her friends in Halloweentown while the portal's open.
After a year away, going back for just a few hours is harder than not going back at all. No, I'll just wait till next Halloween. And then I can take Marnie for the year.
But won't a year in Halloweentown feel like 100 years to her?
Oh, becoming the head of the Cromwell witches takes commitment, Sophie. She can't live in both worlds. She has to choose.
Sophie then senses that somebody's coming, so she and Aggie go see who it is. While in the kitchen, Marnie and Gwen are having a talk.
I'm not turning against you. I love you. But I'm a witch. I can't just not be.
I'm sorry that I got mad at you.
It's just so frustrating. I want you to learn what I know too.
Magic can give you whatever you wish for.
Nothing's worth anything if you can get it just by wishing.
That's what your dad taught me.
But I don't use magic for everything. I don't use it on tests. All right. There was that one algebra test.
Marnie, you can't pick and choose. If you go to Halloweentown for a year, that's going to become your life. You're going to be a stranger in this world after that.
Suddenly, a father and son named Alex and Cal, played by Peter Wingfield and Daniel Counts respectively, arrive.
We just moved in down the street and we heard about your party.
Oh, well, welcome to the neighborhood. I'm Gwen, and this is my daughter, Marnie.
Hi.
If all witches were as pretty as you, they'd have a better reputation.
Oh, thanks. Can I put those in the freezer for you?
Oh, whatever you want. They're for you. For the party. I hope you like lime. Green's my favorite color.
Okay. Is the rest of your family coming too?
Oh, it's just me and Cal.
Oh, well, lime is good.
Good.
I've got some scoops over here.
Let me help you.
Marnie then gives Cal a tour of the house.
When we moved in last year, I finally got my own room.
Huh.
What?
Oh, I don't know. Usually people's rooms look like them. Yours doesn't.
What do you mean?
Well, you strike me as unconventional, but in a good way.
Yeah. Well, my room is kind of ordinary. My mom likes ordinary, I guess.
Oh, she's the boss, huh?
Marnie then shows Cal Aggie's room.
Wow. This is so cool. Does she do it like this every Halloween?
She's very into the whole witch thing. Stories, I mean. About witches.
Yeah, I guess so. It's the hair of werewolf. This must not be easy to get.
It wasn't, believe. I mean, in the old days of fairy tales.
Oh, so you know about this witch stuff too?
A little.
Do you know any magic spells?
Well, sure. But they're pretend ones, of course. See, there are common spells that every witch knows. I mean, supposedly. And then there are the really secret ones that are only known to the witch who made them up.
Or warlock. That's what male witches are called, right? Warlocks?
Cal then sees Aggie's spell book, but Marnie says they're not allowed to touch it.
Come on, it's just pretend, right?
Well, sure. But it's still my grandma's stuff, and we really shouldn't be in here when she's not here, so
Okay. So do you like ice cream?
Sure.
They then go downstairs. Cal tells Alex that he's going home and also tells Marnie that he's going to a costume party at the high school, which he might crash since he's not enrolled.
Well, let's see, if you went with a student who is enrolled, then maybe you wouldn't have to crash it.
Pick you up in an hour?
Yeah, sure.
Meeting you is everything I hoped it would be.
I don't see anyone.
Cal goes out to the bus stop where he goes through the portal and into Halloweentown. At the Piper's house, while Sophie and Aggie are handing out stuff to the kids, Aggie's purse becomes empty. So Aggie says she'll have to stop by her house in Halloweentown, so she tells Gwen that she and the kids are going for a walk.
Wait. Out where?
Oh, just home. We'll be back in a jiffy. Oh, how do you do? I'm Aggie, Gwen's mother. Nice to meet you.
I'm Alex.
Mother.
Marnie's going to be staying with me for a whole year after she gets out of high school. Isn't that fabulous?
Lucky for her.
Yes, and Sophie is going to stay with me.
Mom!
Sweetheart, it's your bedtime. Why don't you go upstairs and start getting ready?
As Marnie and Aggie head out, she gives Dylan, played again by Joey Zimmerman, a literal headphone so they can keep in contact.
What good are those things?
Well, they're a little bit like your walkie-talkies. Except they work like magic.
Oh,
They can even be used to communicate between the mortal world and Halloweentown. I invented them myself. Aren't they cute? Anyway, it probably won't be a problem because you know we're going to be home before midnight.
Ooh, we'll be back in an hour because I have a date.
Marnie and Aggie then go out where the bus stop is supposed to be, but it's not there, so Marnie tries to summon the bus.
Gestum ex alius mundus nos te appello ut aduco damus. Didn't I say it right?
Try it again with more feeling.
Gestum ex alius mundus nos te appello ut aduco damus.
After she fails, they open the portal.
From the mortal world depart we now. On this the night All Hallows Eve. Back into Halloweentown. Through the portal we take our leave.
4 hours till midnight.
We'll be back in plenty of time.
At the Piper's house, Alex asks Gwen to be his date at the costume party at the school.
That's just for the students.
Oh, I'm sure they can always use more chaperones. Hey, give me an excuse to see you again.
No, I don't even have a costume.
Well, that's all right. Cal's got loads of stuff back at the house. Sure, we can find you something.
All right, sure. I'd like that.
Great. Well, till then.
Till then.
Meanwhile, Marnie and Aggie enter Halloweentown, but the big jack-o'-lantern's missing, everything's gray, and the creatures have all turned into humans. Luke, played again by Philip Van Dyke, then walks by and Marnie asks him why he's turning gray.
Everybody's doing it.
That's not what I mean.
Aggie then says it's a spell.
You think someone put a spell on all of Halloweentown? How could they do that?
I'm not sure. But the spell seems to be turning the creatures not only gray, but once it progresses far enough, into humans.
Come on, Grandma. Humans aren't this boring.
No. I should say, this is the caricature of humans in Halloweentown. Just as humans make fun of us from the mortal world at Halloween.
But who would cast a spell like this?
I don't know, but someone is destroying my home.
Marnie then reminds Aggie that undoing spells is just saying them backwards, and Aggie remembers a spell like this from her book, so she calls Dylan and asks him to go into her room and read a spell from her book.
Grandma, I'm busy.
Oh, just do it, Dylan. Or I'll spam your diary all over the net.
You don't know my password.
Wanna bet? Iron Buns?
Okay, I'll do it.
Iron buns.
So Dylan and Sophie go into Aggie's room, but her spell book's not there.
It should be on the table.
Well, it's not.
It has to be.
Maybe Grandma misplaced it.
Dylan, it's huge. How's she gonna misplace it?
She misplaced the ogre.
Stinky liked playing hide and seek.
Aggie then asks the kids if any of them were in her room after she came down to the party, and Marnie admits that she was there with Cal.
But he couldn't have taken it because I was with him the whole time.
He must be the one I felt coming. He stole it, Grandma.
It could have been somebody else. I mean, we've been gone for almost an hour.
Well, only you, Grandma, and Sophie know the spell to get in.
Children, you see in my room. We're going to go back and have a talk with Marnie's new friend.
He wouldn't steal anything, Grandma. He's really sweet.
Perhaps. But for the moment, he's our only suspect.
Marnie and Aggie try to open the portal, but it won't open. Cal's face then appears where the jack-o'-lantern should be, and Marnie realizes that he did cast a spell and stole Aggie's book.
But then you'd have to be
A warlock? Sweet, huh?
So then that whole thing, your so-called dad, the tour of the house, it was just to get the book.
No, I could have stolen the book anytime. See, I wanted you to show it to me because you felt something between us. And you did.
You tricked me.
You'll get over it. And hey, I still need a date to the costume party.
Forget the party. I want to know why.
Marnie then remembers the rose Cal gave her, which was the same rose that Kalabar gave her mother, and realizes that Cal's Kalabar's son.
I guess I inherited my father's attraction to Cromwell witches.
I didn't know Kalabar had a child.
He didn't want people to know. Dad and I didn't always agree, but he was the only one that stood in the way of the Cromwell's domination of Halloweentown.
Oh, that's absurd. Cromwells dominate no one.
Then why'd you let the mortals take charge of the earth? While we had to hide like rats in another dimension.
We all voted to create our own world so everyone could live in peace.
And when my father tried to bring the creatures of Halloweentown back as rulers of the human race, you Cromwells brought everyone against him. And then you destroyed him!
Marnie then realizes that Cal's avenging his father, and he says the gray spell is just the start.
The finale will come at midnight in the mortal world.
What finale?
Join me and find out.
No way.
Well, you think about it, and, catch you later.
Sorry, Grandma.
You really blew it. We all make mistakes, dear, but don't worry about it. We'll show Cal the Cromwells are not so easily beaten.
Aggie then says they have to get to her house, so she whistles for the taxi, and Benny, played in this film by Richard Side, has skin.
Benny?
Need a ride?
Grandma, I think it's Benny.
Marnie, Aggie, and Luke then ride the taxi to Aggie's house, and when they get there, Marnie asks Aggie what she thinks Cal will do to the mortal world.
Well, he clearly shares his father's hatred of humans, but if he's willing to break the code of Merlin, which forbids stealing the spells of another, then I think that we can safely assume that he's capable of anything. Now, no more talking till we're inside. And even if he's still eavesdropping, he won't be able to hear us in my house.
They then enter the house, but it's also been affected by the gray spell. Aggie then mentions to Marnie that she has 2 spell books, and they look for the other one.
Okay, yes. So then here, no. Excuse me. Okay. No. Okay, maybe, this is it. No.
You can help out, you know?
I'm kind of hungry. I wonder if there's anything to eat around here.
Oh. Maybe it's in here. No, it's in here. You know what? It's in here. I know it is.
Not here.
How about that one?
No. That's not it. That's too small.
No, how about this?
It's just a big one.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
my goodness.
Then some of these. Here, I know. Here, this is it.
We can't find them.
Grandma, we can't just give up. There's got to be something we haven't thought of, right? I mean, something to get us out of this trap. A spell, or...
Suddenly, Luke turns back into a goblin.
Luke!
Yeah.
Luke, you're a goblin again. So something broke the spell.
I guess so.
Well, what happened, Grandma? Did you say something?
Not that I'm aware of.
Then how come I'm not gray anymore?
I suppose the spell could be temporary.
Then maybe the spell on the house will wear off. And we can find your spell book.
But if it takes too long, midnight will pass in the mortal world.
Grandma, you already said the spell book isn't here. I mean, what else can we do?
Aggie then says that her other spell book may be lost, which means that it would have ended up at Gort's house. Meanwhile, in the mortal world, the party at the Piper's house is over, and Dylan and Sophie tell Gwen about what's going on in Halloweentown. Alex then shows up dressed as a frog.
Alex!
Hey, Gwen. Great costume, huh? Hope I didn't scare you.
Well, it is Halloween.
And to celebrate, Cal and I found a terrific mask for you.
You.
Oh, it's...
You don't like it?
Oh, no. It's great. We are going to be the hit of the costume party.
Gwen tells Dylan and Sophie that Alex asked her to go to the Halloween party at the school, but Sophie should be in bed, so Dylan says he'll babysit her.
Dylan, no. You've been looking forward to this for weeks.
Let's face it, Mom, I'm just not that into Halloween. I mean, I was hoping for a little social interaction, but you're the one that's got the date.
Did you ask Tiffany?
She was busy.
Samantha?
Boyfriend.
Julia?
She laughed so hard that milk came out of her nose. You guys go. You can make it up to me later.
Are you sure?
That is wonderful. Shall we go?
Sure. You're not going to give me warts, are you?
That is a complete myth.
Bed.
Don't make me laugh.
In Halloweentown, Marty, Aggie, and Luke arrive at Gort's house and all the junk's gone.
Looks like Gort's been straightening up ever since the craze spell hit.
Oh, you'd still better prepare yourself, my dear. Spell or no spell, Gort the Reckless is still the foulest, meanest, smelliest inhabitant of Halloweentown.
At Gort's front door, he comes out and they tell him that they're looking for a book, so he invites them in and they see his books, none of which are the copy of Aggie's spell book.
100 recipes for tapioca. You know, I don't think whoever lost these is missing them much.
Gort, these can't be all the books you've got.
Well, I sold the rest at the yard sale.
Yard sale?
Oh, yes, this place was very messy. I only kept the useful books. I'll sell these socks, too, as soon as I match them up.
Gort, there was a particular book, an extra copy of my spell book. Do you remember who you sold it to?
Do you think these two match? No, I suppose not.
Suddenly, Aggie's getting affected by the gray spell. Luke runs to the door, but it's locked. Cal's face then appears in the fireplace.
Grandma was right. You've been spying on us this whole time.
Oh, I didn't need to. You see, I already knew about Aggie's little spell book. That's why I knew you'd end up at Gort's.
How could you? I lost that book before you were born.
So, Marnie, have you thought any more about going to the party? I mean, everyone's gonna be there. Even your mom.
My mom? You're lying. My mom hates Halloween.
Well, I think my dad got her into the spirit. He's not really my dad, actually. He's more of a science experiment, but he got her into a really ugly mask. It's a scream.
You know, this is not the way to talk me into a date.
This is more than a date. This is our future together.
I'm in control of my own future, and it doesn't include you.
Aggie then remembers a spell called the Creature Spell, which was banned after the Dark Times.
It was used on humans who mocked us by dressing up like creatures. It was used on them to turn them into the very creatures they were mocking.
He turned the creatures into humans. And now he's gonna turn the humans into creatures.
That's why Cal put your mother in a mask. I think he plans to use the creature spell on the mortal world at midnight.
At the Piper's house in the mortal world, Sophie reads a part of the Halloweentown book about golems to Dylan.
Golems are very pleasant creatures, built entirely from mud or other natural elements. They have no will of their own and do whatever their creators tell them.
Good. Be a golem. Go to bed.
You said you saw a frog on the floor just after Cal's dad left. And then later he shows up in a giant frog costume?
What is this, some sort of biblical plague thing? Sophie, Mom hasn't gone out with anyone in 2 years. I'm not going to that party just to tell her that you think her date is a reptile.
Frogs are amphibians.
I'm not going. Somebody's got to be here to water the plants when they take you all away.
Sophie then reminds Dylan that whether or not he likes it, he's also a Cromwell, which means that he feels things that are wrong.
Okay, maybe we'll go for a minute, but just to prove to you that nothing is wrong.
You'll need a costume.
No way.
At Gort's house in Halloweentown, Marty tries to think of another way to undo a spell besides saying it backwards.
Oh, rules are rules.
But rules have exceptions, right? I mean, like how hackers get into computer programs. They just look for the back door.
Computers have back doors?
Well, back doors are ways of getting into a program if there's a problem. I wonder if spells have back doors.
So, you mean a way to weasel out of the spell without actually breaking it?
Right. Like this spell. It's supposed to keep us from getting outside, right?
Yeah. So?
So, what if we tried to go somewhere else other than outside?
There is nowhere else. There's only outside and inside, and right now we're inside.
Marty then asks Aggie if she has a time-traveling spell, which she does. She writes it down and then becomes completely affected by the gray spell.
Of course. There are no matching socks here.
Yes, well, I have some more in the cupboard.
We'll go get them.
No, Grandma, read the spell with me.
No, go away. We're busy.
She's gone.
But Grandma, it's me, Marnie.
Here we go.
Oh, Grandma.
Oh, finally we can get something accomplished. Matching. You want the long one? That's a
Look, we have to get out of here. We can come back for her later.
Okay.
Marty then reads the spell.
Pop are the Rinadal. Anad Hebu. Aquin. Otherwise, ni Shapnada.
But she and Luke are only sent back 5 minutes ago, so she reads the spell again.
Pop are the Rinadal. Anad Hebu. Aquin. Otherwise, ni Shapnada.
She and Luke are then sent way back, and she reads it again.
Pop or the Rinadal, Anad Hebu, Aquin, Otherwise, the Shastada.
She's then sent back to Gort's house, but nobody else is there except Cal.
Where's Luke and Grandma? And what time is it?
Well, I guess you could say I took them offline for the moment. It's a simple limbo spell. I could teach it to you later.
You better stop breaking in on my spells, Cal. It's against the Code of Merlin.
Nobody cares about the Code of Merlin anymore, Marnie. You need an update. Besides, what do you want to hang around a bunch of moldy old creatures for anyway?
These creatures are my friends.
Your mom's about to become a really moldy old creature.
Leave my mother alone.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Bye.
Marty then reads the spell one more time, and she's sent to Gort's house before the gray spell. Luke's there, and so is Gort.
What are you doing in my house?
It's okay. Aggie sent us.
Well, that doesn't make you welcome here. Hey, Aggie!
Don't feel bad. He hates everyone.
Well, Aggie has the greatest respect for you.
She does.
Yeah. She said that you were the smelliest, foulest, meanest inhabitant in all of Halloweentown.
Marnie, ixnay.
She said that? She's just trying to butter me up.
No. She meant it, really.
Oh, that's very sweet of her. And I hate it when people are sweet. Now get out! I have messing up to do.
As Marnie and Luke are leaving, Marnie tells Gord about what's going to happen in a few years.
There's this thing called the Gray Spell, you see, and in a few years, Kalabar's sun is gonna make your whole house neat.
In the mortal world, Dylan and Sophie fly to the school on a broom.
Are you sure Mom said this was okay?
No! Grandma hasn't taught me how to fly yet!
What?
It's okay!
At Gord's house, Marnie and Luke look for the spell book, but it's nowhere.
Maybe we came too far back in time. Maybe it's before she even lost the spell book.
Well, Grandma said she hasn't seen it for decades. I mean, we couldn't have come back that far.
Hey, is this book you're looking for leather?
Yes.
With some kind of fancy writing on the front?
Bibliomagica. Yeah,
I remember it.
that's really good.
Gord then mentions that he sold the book to Kalabar half a century ago.
That's really bad.
Kalabar must have been working on this world domination thing for decades.
Well, then that means Cal must have had Grandma's other spell book all along, with the gray spell in it. And the only reason he took it out of our house
Was to stop you from undoing the spell.
I can't believe it! We came all this way for nothing! Oh.
In the mortal world, Dylan and Sophie arrive at the party and find Gwen.
Sophie? Dylan, what are you guys doing here?
Well, we're just rocking to the beat.
We had to talk to you.
Talk to me. About what? How did you get here? Alex, will you excuse us for just a minute?
Sure. I'll get some punch.
Great.
Alex steps away for a minute and Dylan and Sophie tell Gwen about him.
He's not really Cal's dad, Mom.
Oh, I see. He's not. And who is?
Well, we kind of left that part out before because we didn't think you'd like it.
It's Kalabar, Mom.
Aggie told you that.
Marnie, but Grandma thinks so too.
Oh, I see. And so, Alex is what? An actor that Cal hired?
Sophie has the theory.
I think he's a golem.
A golem.
Made of frogs.
At Gord's house, Luke tells Marnie that she did undo the great spell on him.
No, it just wore off.
It didn't wear off of Benny or Gord. It had to have been something you did or said.
Like what?
Well, all right, you were searching through Aggie's house.
Right, and you were picking your nose.
And you couldn't find the second spell book.
Right, so I was trying to get Grandma to think of something else. Some other way to break the spell.
No, but you didn't say spell. You said something else.
So?
So maybe whatever you said undid the spell.
I would have had to be talking backwards to undo the spell.
Maybe it was in there backwards somehow.
Marnie recites what she said after looking for the book in Aggie's house, and Luke notices Trappa, which is a part spelled backwards, so Marnie tries it on Gord.
Apart.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, this place is very, very messy.
All right, now say it backwards.
Trappa?
Oh, that was awful. I wanted to clean.
Try it again.
Okay. Apart.
Oh, my. Does anyone have a dustpan, perhaps?
Trapper!
Will you stop doing that?
Now that they know how to break the gray spell, they have to get back to the present, but the time-traveling spell's missing.
What do you mean? You had it.
Right. Well, I put it over there on that table when I had to dig through the garbage.
You shouldn't have done that.
Gord then says they got lost, and things that get lost at his house go poof.
Poof?
Poof. Gone. Forever.
Poof.
Please tell me that you remember the spell.
It was Welsh. I could barely read it.
So we're stuck here? We can't be stuck here.
Okay, all right. Let me think.
So Marnie tries to remember it.
Pa, Uber, Theodorno, and a Hedo. No, that's not it.
At the party in the mortal world, Alex returns to Gwen, and Sophie tells him that she saw a kid dressed as a fly.
A big black one with feelers and fuzzy legs. I can even show you what he looked like.
Sweetheart, not here.
Sophie, you know that you're not allowed to do magic around strangers.
Mommy, look.
Alex? Are you all right?
Oh, that's not normal.
That was very good.
You're not human.
Gwen then uses a spell which turns Alex into a bunch of frogs and then asks where Marnie is.
She was in Halloweentown last time she called. She and Grandma were having trouble getting through the portal because of Cal's spell.
It's almost midnight. How did you talk to her?
The headphone.
Marnie? Marnie! Can you hear me?
The party you are trying to reach is currently out of this dimension. If you'd like to leave a message, your party will receive it in approximately 400 years.
400 years?
At Gord's house in Halloweentown, Marty can't remember the time-traveling spell, so Gord shows her and Luke his timeline, which is in the closet.
How? How does it work?
The timelines tell us what year it is in the mortal world. The past is one direction, the future is the other.
You know, that looks just like a Stephen Hawking description of a non-stellar black hole.
And your point is?
Well, theoretically, black holes can accelerate time.
And that would help us how?
Just follow the fastest moving timeline. Now get out of here.
Marty and Luke get on Marty's new broom and they fly into the timeline. At the school in the mortal world, the Pipers look around for Cal, who's above the party and getting ready to use the creature spell. It's then 1 minute till midnight.
The witch's hour. Everyone, count down with me. Here we go. 60, 59.
Marty and Luke make it back to Gort's house in the present time. Marty removes the gray spell from Aggie and they open the portal as it's closing.
It's too late.
In the mortal world, Cal uses the creature spell on the party guests, which turns them into the creatures they're dressed up as.
What's going on? Where's my other eye?
Mom? This can't be happening.
That's weird. My teeth won't come out. I'm really thirsty.
Wendy? Stop it. No, help me.
At Gort's house, Marnie's very upset about this. She then decides that they need to open the portal and calls Sophie.
Sophie? Sophie, you there?
Marnie, away from her! You?
Sophie, listen to me. We're gonna open the portal.
We can't. It's after midnight.
I don't care. That's not gonna stop me. The portal hasn't always been there. It was created by magic, and nobody's magic is stronger than ours, right?
I guess so.
No. You've got to believe it. And Dylan has to, too. Come on. What do you say?
Okay, but how do we do it? There's no spell for this.
We'll just have to make up our own. Are you ready?
What am I supposed to do?
Stop thinking about it, Dylan. Just feel it.
So Marnie, Aggie, Luke, Dylan, and Sophie create a spell.
We call on the dreams of creature and mortal to heal the wound, the worlds divide. From now on, we each can create a portal. And each of us our own path decide.
We call on
the dreams of creature and mortal to heal the wound that worlds divide.
From now on, we each can create a portal. And each of us our own path decide.
And miraculously, the portal opens.
Yes! Marnie! We did it!
Yes, Sophie.
No, it's impossible.
Yes! Good job. That's him.
Marnie's then confronted by Cal, and she orders him to give Aggie spell books back.
Dad was right. You're the enemy, and you always will be.
You told me you make your own decisions. Don't let your father's hate decide for you now.
Go ahead. Take the book. I'd like to watch. Is good stronger than evil? Let's find out.
Marnie manages to take the books, Cal disappears, and Aggie reverses the creature spell on the party guests.
Wow, I just had the weirdest dream. Was I asleep?
Well, I don't know who put this all together, but let's have a big hand for the best Halloween party ever, huh? Yeah!
The family then goes to Halloweentown to get rid of the gray spell.
Trappa! 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 Trappa!
Just try it. He's busy. I've got your receipt right here.
Trappa.
Wow! Talk about going on a crash diet. Ah!
Yay!
What's everybody so happy about?
So this World Wide Web I've heard about, does it involve spiders?
Grandma. I think it's time maybe we started your training.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that was Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge. My thoughts? It's awesome! In the end, I give this film 4.5 stars out of 5. Well, that's it for Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge. Be sure to join me next week when I'll be reviewing the third film in the franchise. And if you enjoyed this video, then please tell your friends about me, leave some questions in the comments below, subscribe, and hit that like button.
Under a cloak of black and a pointed witch's hat, I saw a face that made a chill run down my spine, and she looked me in the eyes. She must have hypnotized me, 'cause the next thing I remember, I was there, standing in her lair, watching as she stirred. And then she looked at me and she said these words: I knew that we were bad.
That's Cindy.
Yeah,